You are now listening to Green Room Gossip. Welcome to another episode of Green Room Gossip Podcast, coming to you from the Appel Center for the Performing Arts in historically edgy downtown York, Pennsylvania. By the time this episode airs, we are going to be a few days into the new year, and from all of us at the Appel Center to you, we wish you health, happiness, and a better year than the last. We want to thank you for continuing to support us by listening and rating and reviewing the podcast. It means a lot. Today, I am really excited to bring you an interview with Lee King from Studio 117 in downtown York, Pennsylvania. Lee is an incredibly accomplished dude, stand-up interview if I can say that. He is a founding partner of Studio 117. He's also an engineer and CAD specialist. And part of the beauty of his work is his fostering of the entrepreneurial spirit and musical ingenuity of young people through a variety of outreach and education programs in high school, colleges, and beyond. Stay tuned to listen into this interview. It's really awesome. It's great to see what one person can accomplish in a community like York, PA. Now, is it 117 or 117?
117, but you could say either or.
Okay, so you know what? Choose your own adventure. I know a good bit about you because I was doing some research. For those who don't, I just wanted you to tell me a little bit, if you can, sort of wrap your life up in a nutshell and how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, so among a few ventures, I'm one of two founding partners at Studio 117, which is in the Royal Square district of York. There we serve recording artists locally and artists from across the globe. We have some business-to-business operations in audio production and acoustics. And then in addition to those services, we also teach students in over 20 school districts and 4 colleges about audio production and music tech.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and aside from that, I do mechanical engineering work as well, so I keep myself busy.
I saw that. I read your accolades, and I was like, all this epicness is making me feel very underwhelmed with my own life. So I did actually see about your background in mechanical engineering, and I wanted to ask, what was the moment that made you want to go into a more music-based focus?
Well, I've always had a passion for music. Since I was 6, I played guitar,
That's awesome.
and I love technology, so there's sort of the parallel right there. But I started getting into computers and understanding how to record music, and I also like the parallel there between making a music from a song from scratch and making a design from scratch mechanically. There's a lot of parallels in the process. So I ended up going to school. I realistically went to school, York Tech for architecture. To just get a career that I knew was going to be successful, because music was very hard to pin down exactly what kind of career I could have, what kind of salary I could have. Architecture, engineering, that was like, okay, I can get a job in that for sure. So, so I went for that and, started working in the engineering field. But, I've always had a passion for music, and I've always done music on the side. Ended up, recording, people in my bedroom, and that just, grew into what is now Studio 117.
In what ways specifically do you feel like it really helps you?
It's interesting, even in the programs themselves. I draw parallels all the time. From starting from scratch and building a song up with different elements. There's a direct connection in that to starting from scratch and building an assembly up with different parts in the mechanical field. So it's a lot of the everybody always says oh, you're creative and you're technology based as well, which is not it's hard to find, but I really don't think there's too much of a difference there. You use a lot of creativity in technology, and you use it a lot in mechanical design as well. So it's pretty much the same thing. One's just using physical parts and one's using audio parts.
Right. You do a lot of mentoring. You have internships I saw with Studio 117, and you said you manage these education programs. So I've done a lot with the Appel Center, with working with kids and young adults, programming and stuff, and it is really rewarding. But do you have any specific memory or moment that made you viscerally feel the difference you're making in a young person's life?
Yes, I have a few that come to mind, but one in specific was we were giving a presentation with YCAL, York County Alliance for Learning, to their group of administrators, and from all different schools. And we're just, saying, hey, this is what we do at Studio 117. We love to have, students in so that we can teach them, foundational elements of, business and their, living life in general. And this teacher stood up and she was like, hey, I just want to let everybody here that they had a student of mine. And she was actually a guidance counselor. And she said that, she was having a really hard time with this student, keeping him in school. He had problems at home with his parents and things like that. And one of our criteria was that in order to, be in the internship program, you had to be in school, passing, your classes and things like that. So he was so motivated to get an internship at the studio that he actually started doing better at school, and he actually moved home with his parents and worked that situation out. And she was literally in tears in front of all these people, and I'm like, wow, this is I didn't realize we were doing this much, making this much of an impact. So
Yeah.
from
Wow.
that moment on, we've really started to realize how much of an impact it can have to have a student in, for even a couple days. Students change their ideas on what they want to do for college, or, that's the main thing is career exploration. To us, you need to understand what you're getting into before you go and spend $1 million in college, and a lot of the students that come in, they get that firsthand experience and they're like, well, now I know I don't want to be a recording engineer. I want to be a mix engineer, or I want to do communications, or something like that. So it gives them sort of a clear path so they don't make the wrong mistakes going into college.
Well, and I think too, what's interesting about music is it's really aspirational. It's like you're showing you can not necessarily be a full-fledged performer, but there are other options and other avenues to explore in performing arts and music careers and stuff like that. So
Exactly. And some of those, career paths don't necessarily take you to college either. And we don't ever try to stray our students from going to college, but some end up, finding a lucrative career. We had one intern that graduated with us last year, and now he's out in LA. He's, he got signed to a production label out there, and he's making a lot of good money. And he has number one, plaques now on his wall that he can say, that this is from an internship and schooling, and he didn't go to college for it. So
and who is that?
Billy, I can't remember his last name anymore, but Billy came from Studio 117, and he is out there in LA now doing his thing.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we have a couple artists that are also, or a couple interns that are also off to college as well. So I mean, there's different paths for everybody.
You gotta have like proud dad moments.
Yeah.
Goodbye. You got this. Go to LA and chase your dreams.
Yeah, we stay connected with them. They always come back. Billy came back a few months ago, and he, sat in at the studio, and we teach, to be humble. Humility is key. Making connections is everything. And he comes back and he's like, I learned a lot here, and he continues to learn a lot. And that's the mindset you have to have, in this industry.
I mean, York has produced some pretty exceptional artists. I think it's just about, fostering all that energy and creativity. And I mean, we can even see in the tininess that is our downtown. It's a really small downtown. How many really creative spaces and co-working spaces we have. It's amazing.
Exactly. I mean, I had a reality check one time. I think it was when we opened our doors in March of 2015. The partner at the studio, Dell, he made a song. It was just a funny song they put on SoundCloud, and it went viral overnight. And we weren't expecting it, to go viral. I guess he might have been, but I wasn't. And it went so viral. It got over 20 million views. It was in every country. Yeah, there is people sending videos. I mean, people like Chris Brown, big artists, sending videos of them dancing to it, played at summer jams. And it was a really surreal moment when we were walking down the street, and there was a car full of people that went by, and they're dancing to the song, and it's his song, and they had no clue that it was even, the guy that made it was standing right next to their car.
And,
But
and this is a terrible on my research part, but what's that song?
it's called "Good Morning to You." The birds are chirping, and it's a really, um, I don't know. It's like a catchy little beat, but it's really just a funny song. It's meant to be funny and not really be serious. But it became, I guess, pretty serious when it got that many views.
Isn't that like poetic? It's like you do something just out of your spirit, not trying to be cool, and it ends up blowing up. Like
Yeah,
that's just great.
yeah, it is crazy, but it's it made me think, it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. I mean, it could happen to anybody at any time. So just keep creating, and eventually something will come of it.
Yeah. Do you have any musicians that you think people should be listening to right now on a local level?
It's hard to just name a couple, but
Oh,
there-
go
there's
for
there is definitely a few that I'm working with right now. Let me think if I can disclose the information. They're
it.
not released yet, but Julie Bowers is one that I'm working with personally. She's been coming to the studio for a few years now, and we've been doing some great pop tunes. So we've worked recently with Naku, and he's doing his own thing right now. He's getting pretty popular with R&B and hip hop. There's so many. We have a lot of them listed on the website that have done some great work. We have a lot of videos on the website at studio117york.com. So definitely check that out. There's lots of them on there. But there's so many artists here, and that's another thing. When we started the business, that was our big concern, is that we wouldn't have enough clientele to keep business going. And what was funny about that is that now we have over 450 clients. People are coming every week from different areas, and what's even crazier is that people walk by the studio every day and don't realize that it's a studio, and they're like, I didn't realize this was here. I lived on the same street for 10 years. I never knew, but I'm an artist and I'll come in and record. And it's like, what? There's like literally hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, probably tens of thousands of artists in York
Wow.
alone.
So I wanted to ask you if you were able to work with someone in either a collaborative sense or a producer sense, dream situation, anybody live or dead, who would it be?
Wow, that's a good question. I think it would have to be probably Stevie Ray Vaughan, a blues guitarist and singer, a great artist. A lot of influence on myself. He influenced me a lot growing up. Just listening to his records, playing guitar. So I mean, he's dead now, but if he was alive, I would definitely, that's the person I'd want to work with.
If they bring the hologram, I'll let you know. I'll shoot you a
There you
text. It's ready to work. Kind of coming off of that, and this is a really tough one. You had your top three albums.
go. Oh my gosh.
I know. It's a tough one. I know.
Okay, so I would have to say, this is gonna sound really cliche, but the Metallica Black album. I like Metallica; they're a classic, and I really enjoy how they produced that album. Back in the '80s, and still made it sound relevant to today. So that I would say, I'll throw some Drake in there.
Mhm.
Take Care by Drake. That would be a good one. I would go with Stevie Ray Vaughan again. Yeah.
If you had some advice to young creators and musicians locally or beyond when it comes to considering, chasing their passion for music or the arts, whatever it may be, what would you give them as some advice?
I would say, to quantify it, and that's sort of the opposite of an artsy mindset. But a lot of people chase the dream of, being a recording artist and making money from it without actually doing the business behind it. So, and laying that plan out. So, there is a lot of ways to become profitable and have a return on your investment. But you have to lay that out and know how much you're willing to spend on, your production, and how you're going to get it out to people, and how you're going to make money back off of it. Um, but other than that, connections are everything. Even people that, so there's a lot of people that come into the studio, and, at first glance, you might think they're not serious. They don't look like they're serious, but then they come in and they lay the best song down you ever heard. And it's like, wow, this is completely not what I was expecting. So never count anybody out, don't burn any bridges, no matter how big or small. Just, make connections, and keep progressing.
Yeah, that's great. And kind of coming off of that, if you have the best piece of advice you've ever gotten and who gave it to you?
It would be more so just advice from schooling, to be honest. My best experience in education was at Votech, at York County School of Technology, and I had a great teacher there, Mr. Bryant, and he's an architectural teacher, and he really guided me through a lot of starting up my own business, and what to do and what not to do. I can't really quote a specific thing that he would have said, but I respect a lot of what he says, and now I go back there and give back with doing the NOCD testing, proctoring, and doing the occupational advisory committee stuff with them, because that's, just want to give that back, what was given to me. So
It's awesome.
If you want to keep up with us and get more behind-the-scenes content, follow us on Instagram at Green Room Gossip Podcast and on Twitter at GRGPod. For more information about the Appel Center for the Performing Arts in York, Pennsylvania, visit appelcenter.org or call our box office at 717-846-1111. Thanks for listening.